Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the lecture series on network theory. This is lecture number 19, and we are into the module number 2. Okay. So in the previous class, we have discussed about the maximum power transfer theorem, and we have come across around 5 cases, right? And how we can use each case. So that we have discussed. Okay. So in today's class, so I will be discussing about problems on Thevenin's theorem. Okay. So this I am calling it as part 1 because I am considering the DC source and as well as AC source also with independent and dependent sources. Okay. So we shall also consider some AC source problems later. So today most of the problems are DC excited sources, but see the both independent and dependent variables. Okay. So before we start with the actual Thevenin's theorem, so first let us quickly just review the theorem itself. So if you are given with some circuit or some network, so what you have to do? Okay. So usually once you are given with some network, so first job is you have to decide part A and part B. That means the parameter of interest, that is the current or the voltage which they want from which element. So if you are being asked something like calculate the current through 2 ohm resistor and all, so except that 2 ohm resistor, other part of the other elements of the network, you should consider them or you should put them into network A part, right? And network B is your load part or the parameter through which or the element through which you will be calculating the parameters. So usually it is considered as the load part. Okay. So here in network A, you can have independent voltage source or current source, right? And as well as the resistive element, capacitor, and as well as inductor. Okay. So if the things are like independent sources, then what you have to do, you have to find the VTH by opening the part B network here, and as well as you have to calculate RTH as seen from this end, but here you have to disable the sources. Okay. But in again the VTH calculation will remain for the dependent source, but for RTH calculation what we are doing, RTH in case of dependent variables, so we can calculate by using the formula VTH divided by short circuit current. So this short circuit current is nothing but the current obtained by short circuiting the load part. Okay. So this we shall see now. Anyway. Okay. Now, if you look into the problem here, okay. So what is being asked? First you check that. So they are asking us to find the current through 2 ohm resistor. So it is required to find the current through 2 ohm resistor. Okay. So if you are asked to find the current through 2 ohm resistor in this circuit, so except 2 ohm resistor, so this except this 2 ohm resistor, everything is considered as what now? Part A network. So all these elements, the perimeter marked with the dotted lines, so all these elements will be considered as network A. So using these elements, we need to determine what VTH and RTH. Okay. So okay, let me just check this stuff again. It is coming over here. Okay. So now, if you divide this entire network, what we expect is we should get this network. This is the how to get VTH and RTH with RL separately is equal to 2 ohms. So as a part of that, first let us find VTH. So first step in Thevenin's theorem is you have to find VTH. So how to find that? You have to remove this 2 ohm resistor. So if you remove that 2 ohm resistor, what you get is these two ends. Okay, so at these two ends you should get VTH, right? So if you observe the original circuit, this one, so we have two loops, first one and second one. Now in the second loop, the 2 ohm resistor has been disconnected, so that means now it will create a open path. So in the open path or in the open loop, the current will not be there, current flow will not be there. So that means if you assume a current like I2 will be 0. I2 is 0. Why? Because of open circuit in mesh 2 or loop 2. Okay, so okay, now if you apply the KVL to the mesh 1, now if you apply KVL to the mesh 1, this one, so what we get is minus 40 plus 5 plus 10 15 I1, okay, then plus 20, okay, equal to 0. And if you write this stuff also minus 10 I2, no problem, but later I2 you should make it as 0 because of this reason. Okay, so if you solve for I1, what you will get is this one. Okay, is that clear to everyone? This step is very important.
Yes.
So uh, confirm it from your end. Is it are you comfortable with this one now?
Sir.
Any minute doubts? Let me clear.
No,
So
sir.
please answer. Okay. So before you solve the circuits, so keep in mind again, in any open circuit space, you can expect voltage, but current will not be there. And reverse is true for short circuit. If you have any short circuit, voltage will not be there, but current you can expect. Okay, so this you keep in mind. Okay, so while writing I1 and I2 you can write, no issues, but while taking the I2 value you put the value as 0. Okay, so now if it is clear, now if you go to if you want to apply KVL to the mesh number 2, so which all elements we have 10. Now see here, even though it is open, but it will give you a potential difference. So I'm talking about these 2 points. If I label them as AB, so here you can expect a voltage drop of VTH, but current will not be there. So you will be able to apply the KVL, so that what you will get is you will be getting minus 10 I1, this current which is flowing, in opposite direction, and I2 is flowing like this. Okay, then plus 10 I2, so I2 will not be there, so this is 0, right? And plus VTH and minus 10 equal to 0. So if you use the value of I1, which we got in the earlier step 1.33, what you get is the VTH value. So at this stage we are able to get I1 and as well as VTH. Okay, is that clear? If any student is having any difficulties, so let me clear that. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Please reply back if anybody is having any. Yeah, if anybody want to ask the question, do not hesitate, you can ask. Okay, so I have told you one method for this circuit to determine VTH. Do you find or do you think about any other methods here to evaluate VTH? Yes, can anyone tell? Are there any alternative solutions to find VTH?
Mesh analysis, sir.
What we have done is mesh analysis right now. Okay, we have applied KVL, right? KVL means it is almost as mesh analysis.
Yes,
What
sir.
else you can do? So in your assignment problem, maybe one first problem where you have to find, so you have to apply source transformation, right? So can you think about source transformation here? This is minus 40, this is plus 20. You take up them. So what will be the resultant? Only this part, if you think only this part. So you can come out with
minus 20.
plus minus 20, and this is 5 ohms. Okay, and later you have some circuit here. So can you convert this into again current source?
Voltage. Yes.
Yes, so you can convert that. So if you convert that into current source, what you
Sir,
will get? Huh?
sir, in equation number 1, instead of 15 I1, it should be 5 I1, sir.
No, see,
5 ohm
this is,
resistor is there.
yes, yes, I will tell, you. Okay, so
Yes.
is completely loop 1, right? Okay, are you getting this?
Yes,
Loop
sir.
1.
Yes, sir.
I1 is flowing through 5 ohms as well as 10 ohm is there, no? 10 ohm resistor.
Yes, sir.
So 5 I1 plus 10 I1, it is 15 times I1.
15. Yes,
Okay,
sir. Yes.
is that clear? No?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now coming to this second method, so you can get a current source of 4 ampere, and this will be 5, and here what you have is again a 10 ohms, but this point you should not disturb. VTH is there, right? And here you have this 10 volt. So if you are able to reduce this to again a voltage source, so check that are you getting the same result. So finally you should get something like this. If you are able to convert one resistor, one voltage source here, and this 10 volt source across VTH. Okay, so this resistor will be there but no current will flow, hence you can add up these two. So check that it is already 10, means here if you solve you should get around 13.3 volt. Okay, so all of you take it as a again practice alternative thing here. So if you try with different approaches, then you will enjoy this subject. Otherwise, if you stick to only KVL and KCL, then it is of no use. Okay. So fine. Now, is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now we found VTH right now, and as well as I1. Second step is what we have to find RTH. So in order to find RTH, what you have to do? In order to find RTH, you have to remove the load and you have to disable the sources. So if you disable the sources, now where you had voltage source here, here and as well as here, so all those points will be shorted. If you have any current source, then they should be made as open, right? So if you check out this, you will get 5 ohms and 10 ohms in parallel. So that turns out to be RTH is equal to 3.33 ohms. Okay. Yes. Is that clear? Okay. See, at any point, if you have any difficulties, please feel free to ask. Okay. Now we have successfully come across VTH and RTH values. So now if you put them here, so now what we are able to get is this definition, VTH and RTH. So this one, if you use it here, then if you want to find the current here, current is simple, I is equal to V by R, 23.33 divided by 3.33 plus 2. So you will get 4.38 amperes. Okay. So yes, is that clear? This first problem, it is a very simple problem what I am taking, which I have taken. So if you don't have any difficulties right now, we can go ahead with the second problem. Okay. So I have given a practice problem for you. Okay. So once I share the slide with you, so please go through this problem. So what is being asked here? You have to find the current through 2 ohm resistor using Thevenin's theorem. There are two ohm resistor, but point of interest is this. Across, I can continue the question like across AB. So this will be more clear. So first step, what you have to do, VTH, remove this, you will get empty space here, find VTH. Okay. Similarly, you have to find RTH. Okay. So I have just given the answers here. You can just cross verify with yourself. Okay. Or if we find some time at the end, I will give you some 5 minutes. You can calculate and tell me. Okay. So this is the practice problem for you. You have to solve it. Okay. Now let me take you to the second problem, that is determine the current through 24 ohm resistor. So in the given circuit where we have 24 ohm resistor, here we have the 24 ohm resistor. So if you check this 24 ohm resistor and the entire network, so this is being connected here. So first step, what you have to do, calculation of VTH. So first you observe, are there any dependent sources? No. Entire network is having only the independent passive elements, and you have the independent active elements. Okay. So to calculate VTH, again you have to make the open circuit here. So if you want to find VTH, so there are plenty of methods for this network also. Okay. So you can, I will go through this method first here, but also if you mark some points here like AB, if you mark some points there like AB, okay. So this VTH is nothing but I can define for with this circuit, I may define it like VA minus VB also. And what is VA? VA is nothing but voltage drop here. So how do you find this voltage drop with respect to which point? This point to minus ground is there. So this point. So if you find, you can get that also. But to avoid that complexity, what I have done is I have assumed two currents. First current is this one. Second is one more current that is also clockwise. This current which is flowing in entire second loop. So once you take off this 24 ohm resistor, earlier network which had 3 loops or 3 mesh, now it has been reduced to 2 mesh. So I am considering I2 and I1 currents. If you apply KVL to loop 1, so what you will get? Minus 220. And if you come to this I1 is flowing between 30 and 50. That will be 80 times I1. And I2 will also flow here. See here, I2 is flowing in this internal loop. So we are into this branch. So if you consider, it will flow through 50 and 30, but it is in opposite direction. So you can take as minus 80 times I2. So if you rewrite that, what you will get is 80 I1 minus 80 I2 equal to 220. So similarly, if you apply KVL to the loop 2, so I2 will flow in all. See, one hint I have given you in the mesh analysis. If you are in the independent mesh and if you have the one current flowing there, so just add up all the resistors 50, 30, 20 and 5, that is 105. So that will be a positive current, that is 105. And where you find the branch currents associated with the other loops, they should be taken as negative, that is 80 I1. So you will get this. And if you solve for both I1 and I2, what you will get is 11.55 amperes and 8.8 amperes. Now, how to find VTH here? So if you want to find VTH, you have plenty of options over here. So where VTH lies? So if you forget the other network, other part of the network, so we have VTH available here like this. So we have the VTH here, right? So you can assume it like a one voltage source. Okay, virtually imagine, okay, with these polarities plus and minus. So you can apply. So we know already the current I2 is flowing here and I1 is flowing here. So you can find VTH just by applying KVL to this path or KVL to this path, any one path. Okay. So if you apply KVL to the upper path, so what we have is minus VTH, which I have written here, minus VTH. Okay. Then this resistor here, this resistor is nothing but your 30 ohm resistor. 30 times here I2 is flowing in opposite direction, I1 is flowing, that will be 30 times I2 minus I1. So this equation, and here this one, this is nothing but the 20 ohm resistor. 20 times which current is flowing? Only one current, I2. You can use that. And if you substitute the values of I1 and I2, what you will get is this. Okay, so if you want to apply the Thevenin's theorem, if you want to calculate the VTH through other loop also, so through this loop, so what I will get is plus VTH if I go clockwise, I'm going clockwise. So this resistor is 5 and which current is flowing? I2 is flowing there, plus here which resistor is there? Here we have 50. So you can write 50 times I2 minus I1 equal to 0. Put the values of I2 and I1. So you should get again VTH equal to 93.5 or almost nearer value. Sometimes you may get 94 also, no need to worry. So if you consider exact decimal points, so as we have got here 11.55, we don't have any further decimal points. So if you use that, check out that are you getting the same value or no. Okay, is that clear now? Okay, if you have any difficulties regarding this, let me know.
Sir, second equation.
No,
Sir,
sir.
second equation only 105 ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂತು sir?
Which one?
Second equation sir.
Equation number 2. This one you are asking.
Yes sir.
Okay, let me get the pointer here. This one you are asking, no, 105.
Yes sir, yes sir.
This is, see here. This is, which current is there? This is written with respect to which current?
I2.
I2. So as I told, once you remove this 24 ohm resistor, I2 will flow here, here, here and here, right? Okay. So I2 is flowing in 20 ohms, 5 ohms, 50 ohms and 30 ohms. So it is nothing but what? 20 plus 5 plus 50 plus 30. It is 105 only. Is that clear now?
Yes sir.
What about this? How we got minus 80 I1? Can you tell me? Hmm.
30 and 50 sir.
30 and 50, yes. So it is in, we are applying KVL to loop 2, but there are two currents, I2 and I1. So I1 is flowing in opposite direction. Hence it will be minus 80. Okay. So is that clear now?
Yes sir.
Okay. So once you find VTH, second step is what? You have to find RTH. So I have just modified the view. We had a circuit like this, something like in diamond shape. Just I have made it as rectangular or square, whatever you call. So in order to calculate VTH, first what you have to do, you have to disable the source. Here we had the voltage source, hence it is short circuited. So if you short circuit that, and see now, you have to be careful here while again rewriting this. So before you rewrite, just mark few points here. I have marked A, and this one as B, this one as C, and this one as D. So in between A and C, what you have? You have 30 ohm resistor. Just write it. And in between C and B, what you have? 20 ohm resistor. And in between B and D, you have 5 ohm resistor. And in between A and D, you have 50 ohm resistor. And since you are calculating RTH here, it is same as you are connecting the volt ammeter probes here. So you are connecting like this. Okay. So it is nothing but the resistance across AB only. But what you find, there is a short between C and D point. So if you short that, you will get this. Okay. So if you short it, and if you calculate the RTH, okay, so what you find is 30 ohms and 50 ohms, they are in parallel, and as well as 20 ohms and 5 ohms, they are in parallel. Okay. So if you get those values, so at the end, what you can expect is, you can expect between A and B points, you can expect equivalent value of these things. So here what you get is 30 parallel with 50, that value. Here 20 parallel with 5. So if you are able to calculate this, so they will be in series. Okay. So the parallel combination of 30, 50 and 25 are in series. So if you add them, so what you get is this RTH. So once you find VTH and RTH, so next step will be very simple. So just you have to find the current through the desired resistor. So desired resistor is 24 ohms. So that will be again the same thing. Okay. Okay. So is that clear now to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So now, depending on similar kind of problem, I have floated another two practice problems here. So everyone, you must solve these problems. Whatever you know, you make an approach, and if you strike out also, no issues. But don't tear the papers. Don't cut the papers. Keep the things as it is with you, whatever you have practiced in the notebook or papers. Okay. You can try with plenty of options, right? So in this problem, what is being asked? You have the same network as this one. Same thing here. Voltage source 24, same. Everything is same. But what is included? One series resistor is included. So how it will change the approach? So that you have to check here. Okay. So I hope you can solve this. I have not given the answer for these things. Okay. And similarly, you can also find the similar problem with respect to the first one. See here what you have. Now we have the current source of 13 amperes. So while calculating the RTH, so where this current source lies, you make it open. Okay. So only voltage source have to be shorted. So with that approach, we have to solve. Okay. Now I will take a few problems related with the dependent sources. So once you have a dependent source, what are the approaches we have to make? VTH, no issues. Again, you have to calculate as it is. But for calculating RTH, you have to short circuit that. Okay. Now, what is being asked? Obtain the Thevenin's equivalent network. So in short, I'm just calling it as TEN. It is not the standard abbreviation. Just for our reference, I am writing it. Across the terminals A and B. See, check the question here. What they are asking. Just you have to obtain the Thevenin's equivalent network. Thevenin's equivalent network means what? Just you have to get the just you have to get the okay, let me take this. ZTH and VTH. So this is called as Thevenin's equivalent network. So we have to arrive at this state. So how to do that? First again, approach will be same. You have to find VTH. So in order to find VTH, what you can do? So I have written as we have dependent source. Now let us find VTH across AB. So from given figure or circuit. So if we apply KCL at A, so this point is same as this point. All those points are same. This point, if you observe, if I take node A, so I have two currents approaching there. One is I1 and this one is 2 times I1. If you apply KCL over there, I have shown here. So what you get is 2 times I1 plus I1 equal to 0. So that means 3 times I1 equal to 0, or I1 will be equal to 0. Okay. Yes, is that clear now? This one. Then in order to find VTH again, if you apply KVL to the outer loop, KVL to the outer loop means what? You will get this kind of circuit. You have 4 ohm resistor and 8 volt source here. Already current I1 is mentioned, and on the outer loop here you have A, that is nothing but plus and minus VTH. If you apply KVL to the outer loop, what you get is minus 8, right, plus 4 times I1 plus VTH equal to 0. As I1 is already 0, this small I1 is nothing but capital I1 only, because if you assume a loop current like this, same current will flow. So VTH will be equal to 8 volts, right? Okay, is that clear now to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So with that approach, we are able to find VTH. Now you have to find or determine RTH or ZTH. So how we are going to find that? We have to use this equation, RTH equal to VTH divided by short circuit current. Why we have to go for this? As we have the dependent source in the given problem, right? Now if you short the terminals here, so what will happen? You can solve this by 2 approaches. I have given you 2 approaches also, and even you can apply other approaches also. So first method is what I have done is you can apply KCL at node A. If you apply KCL at node A, how many currents are there at node A? So if we check the node A, so totally we have one current here. So that is I short circuit, which is outgoing, 2 times I1, that is incoming current, and I1 is one more incoming current. Okay. So if you check out that, what you get is I short circuit will be is equal to 3 times I1. Okay. Where I1 is what? I1 is the current which is flowing in this branch, in the entire branch. Okay. Now, as there is a short circuit, maximum current will flow here only. So no current will flow here. So that means you can take it off. So total current will be what? I is equal to V by R. That will be 8 divided by 4. Okay. So this looks something like this now. Okay. So here we had this voltage source. So this current source, no current will flow here because of this short circuit here, because current will choose the least resistance path. So you can take off this. So what we get is I1 is equal to 2 amperes, right? So, but if you use it in the short circuit equation, what you get is I short circuit is equal to 6 amperes. Okay. So with this, you can arrive at RTH also, that is VTH upon I short circuit. What you will get is this one. But okay, so if you feel this is not of your choice, so you can go for the super mesh analysis also. As you can see, there is a current source which is coming between two mesh. So if it is coming between two mesh, so you can write the constant equation. That will become what? I short circuit is nothing but I2. So this is I short circuit which is flowing like this in the same direction of I2. So I have written here, and I1 is equal to I1. So that will be nothing but here you have I short circuit current, and in opposite direction you have I1. So this will become, or we can write I2 minus I1 equal to 2 times I1 or this equation. Okay. So if you again you find that I short circuit is 3 times I1 only. So this one and this one both are same. Okay. Now if you apply KVL to the outer path as we did earlier, so what you get is again minus 8 plus 4 times I1 equal to 0. So because it is only this circuit now. Earlier we had a VTH, now we have only 8 volt and 4 ohms. This is the entire loop. So minus 8 plus 4 I1. So I1 is already mentioned. So this is equal to 0. That means I1 is equal to again 2 amperes. So if you use that here, so what you get again? You will get 6 amperes only. Okay. Yes, is that clear now? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you have any again difficulties, please ask. Okay. So here comes one more practice problem for you. This is problem number 4. Similar kind of problem, but what I have included, I have just included a resistor here. So that's all, nothing else. Okay. So practice these things, so you will get some confidence. Okay. So again, I have not given any answers here. So just practice that same approach you have to do. Okay. So while writing KVL, again you get this element now. So once you remove this current source, you will get two currents. Again, just check whether with open circuit whether current will be there or no. Once you short circuit, definitely current will be there. So short circuit you can write 3 times I short circuit. Okay. So I have given you just a few hints. So you have to go with that. Okay. Now, if I take this another problem over here, obtain the Thevenin's equivalent network. It was asked in the previous year question paper also. Almost these problems what I have taken are from previous year question papers and few from GATE exam also. Okay. So just check out here what is being asked. Again, you have to obtain the Thevenin's equivalent network across A and B. So that means here A and B. So again the calculation steps will remain the same here now. So first, in order to find VTH, what you have to do? So open it, it is already opened. So looking from this end, you have to find VTH. So check here, as no current can flow through 30 ohm because of open circuit, hence it can be removed, and what we get is this equation. This circuit. Okay. So from this circuit, can you observe here this point, and this point, all are same, and even these points, this one, and this one. So if I mention here like VTH parallelly, so I am pointing at the same points. This is VTH and this is VX. Both are parallel. So what you can write? You can write VTH is equal to VX. Okay. So is that clear now? This equation, what I have written. So by observation, so this is the common line. The voltage drop will be same, but the labels are different, right? So if you apply KCL at Vx, so if you apply KCL here, so what you get? So you have to assume all currents as outgoing currents. So how that Vx node looks like now? So that you have to understand here. So if I have this Vx node here, so we have 15 ohm resistor. You can assume outgoing current. and already 5 ampere current is there, which is outgoing current, right? And on the other side you have one more thing, that is this voltage source, resistor, and this again outgoing current if you assume. So what we get is 5 plus Vx divided by 15, Vx minus 150 minus 1 by 3 Vx whole divided by 10. Okay. So now, as we know, if you solve this, what you get is the value as 75 volts. And we know since Vx equal to Vth, we can write Vth is equal to 75 volts. Okay. Okay. So if you have any difficulties over here, you may ask. Okay. Is that clear to everyone now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What
Yes,
about?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That yes sir should not be a copy paste option. So if you have any problems, you can ask. Okay, fine. So now uh, next part is what you have to find RTH. So in order to find RTH, what we are doing, so we are going for the short circuit. So you have to make short circuit over here, right? So once you make it short circuit, the circuit looks like this. So I have made a short circuit here, here and here. Okay. So now once you short circuit this, again you can solve for Vx by plenty of methods. So at the beginning you may feel that mesh analysis is very easy, but I suggest you to prefer the nodal analysis. So if you apply KCL at Vx, again you will get similarly the same currents, Vx divided by 30, this current, first current, and this is 5, second current, Vx divided by 15, then Vx minus 150 minus 1 by 3 Vx divided by 10, this current. So if you solve for Vx using calculator, so you will get 60 volts only. Manually also if you do, you will get 60 volts only, right? So now you can find what is short circuit current. So this short circuit current is nothing but this current which is flowing here, here to here, this branch, right? Only the line marked with the brown color. So I is equal to V by R. Already what is the voltage here? That is Vx divided by R, that is 30. So Vx is 60 divided by 30 means you will get 2 amperes. Okay. So next part is simple, that is RTH you have to calculate. So what we will get is 37.5 ohms. Okay. VTH is 75, what we got. So if you do this, you will get this, and you have to do this. So there are other methods which are possible. So I will show one more method for this by using the super mesh or mesh analysis, or you can also go for the source transformation. Okay. So if you go for super mesh or mesh analysis, here only you can check we have the current source coming in between these two. So constant equation what you get is I1 plus I2 equal to 5, I1 plus I2 equal to 5, right? Because next if you apply the KVL to the super mesh and non super mesh, so I have clearly written I am going anti-clockwise. So if you go anti-clockwise, what you get? Just check here, anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise means like this here, 30 times I1. But here if you come to this Vx line over here, this 15 ohm resistor, So since you are going in an anti-clockwise way, this is 15 ohm, already I3 is flowing here, okay, and I2 is coming like this, but our approach is like this, we are going like this, right? So we are flowing in the opposite direction of I2, so you can write minus of I2 into 15, but I3 is in the same direction, you can write plus 15 times I3, okay. Is it clear this point? If you apply clockwise, okay, if you apply clockwise, what will happen? You can write plus 15 times I2 minus 15 times I3, yes or no? Okay. So in the similar way, if you go for anti-clockwise, you will get this equation. And KVL to the third, that is independent mesh, if you write, you will get this equation. And if you solve, you see that again we are getting I1 is equal to 2, but I1 is what now? I1 is this current what we have assumed, which is same as I short circuit. So I short circuit is again 2 amperes. So it turns out to be 2 amperes only. So hence you can say that RTH will remain same. Okay. So if you apply any method, so the solution will remain same until and unless if you have written the equations properly. Okay. Okay, is that clear now to everyone? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one last problem which I am going to consider is this one. So you have to find the current through 6 ohm resistor using Thevenin's theorem. Now it is not equivalent circuit. You have to literally find the current through 6 ohm resistor using Thevenin's theorem. So if you apply Thevenin's theorem, how to do that? Again, you have the dependent source. First, you have to remove this 6 ohm resistor. So what you get is this. So if you want to find VTH, now what I have done in order to find VTH, so I have first defined what is Vx. So what will be Vx now? This you have to understand properly. I have written Vx is equal to 3 into 1. See, check the Vx here where it is indicated. Vx is indicated here. So that is the voltage drop here, right? So voltage drop, if you check, and if you check this current, so once you make this open or close, if you make it open, so we can say that this 3 ampere current will flow in this direction, that is in the loop 1 only. So here no current will be there, current will be 0 because of open circuit. Okay, so this current is flowing here. What is the magnitude of the current? It is 3 into 1 voltage, that will be the voltage. Yes, is it clear now?
Sir.
So I have just defined
Yes,
Vx
sir.
now, right? So once you define Vx, then now if you apply KVL to the outer loop means this entire outer loop. Okay. So if you apply KVL to the entire outer loop, starting from VTH, if you write, what you get is plus, if you go again in the anti-clockwise direction. So this is in anti-clockwise direction, what I have written. So I will get minus VTH plus Vx plus 2 times Vx. This is minus and plus. Then here I will come to this outer loop. So here again we have two options of writing. You can write I1 means this current into 1, or already we have Vx drop. You can write plus Vx and plus 18 equal to 0. So but Vx is what already it is 3 volts. Use that value. So you will get VTH is equal to 27 volts. Okay, so once you get VTH equal to 27 volt, then next comes the calculation of RTH. So to calculate RTH, you have to short circuit this. So once you make a short circuit over here, then what you can say? So again, you are getting the current source in between the two mesh here. So you can write constant equation. Then KVL to the super mesh means this entire network starting from clockwise here minus 18 plus this what you have here is I1. So why this is minus I1? Because the loop current is flowing like this. We are going in the opposite direction. Okay, so that will be minus I1 into 1. This is same as I1 into 1, and here you have minus 2Vx equal to 0. But what is Vx? Vx is I1 into 2, I1 into 1, right? So if you calculate I1, so you will get I1 as 6 amperes and I2 as same as I short circuit equal to 4 amperes. Okay, so from this equation only. Okay, so if you do this, so how I have obtained I1 now? So I have just replaced Vx with I1 here. So what you get is 18 minus I1 minus 2 times I1 equal to 0. So that means what? I1 is equal to 3. Use this in this equation. You will get I2 also. Okay. So if you do this, so you will be getting this one. Okay. So check out that if you find any problems here, then you can just substitute the values and you will get the actual resistance value. So at the end, what we got is this VTH value and RTH. This is nothing but RTH. Okay, so RTH value is 3 ohms and this is 6 ohms. Okay, and this voltage source is 27. So we want current through this I is equal to V by R. So that will be 3 amperes. Okay. Okay, is that clear to everyone now? So we have taken,
Yes, sir.
we have discussed 5 problems. So see, every lecture we are including this triangle. This means they are the Bloom's levels. Okay. So since yours is outcome based education, so whatever you are doing, you have to check, are you using all these things? Okay. So if you have understood the theorem, then you are applying and analyzing the circuit. So that means you are into level 4. All these called as levels, level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Fine. So this is all about the part 1. So in the next lecture, we will discuss about the part 2 problems. So there I will be taking the AC circuits with the AC source. Okay. So you see that. So now coming back to your practice problems. So do you need any hints for practice problems 1, 2, 3, 4? So this is regarding practice problem 1. Do you need any hints for this practice problem 1?
Yes, sir.
So which part you want? So find the current through 2 ohm resistor means first step what you will be doing using Thevenin's theorem. You have to open circuit that. You have to take off 2 ohm resistor. So equivalently what you get? Equivalently, you can expect this circuit over there, right? 2 ohms, 12 ohms, right? 1 ohm. So this will be open-ended now, and this is 3 ohms, and here we have 4 volts, right? So if you have this, then you have to find VTH here. How to find VTH? So you can use source transformation also, as I told. Convert this to current source and you will get again voltage. Convert that, you will get 2 voltage sources. Convert them, both them to current sources, and again you can use plenty of options. You will get VTH, and RTH is simple. You have to just short these things. Notice the resistance. 2 and 2 will be parallel. That answer will be in series with 1, right? And again, that answer will be parallel with 3. Okay. Okay. So that's all about practice problem 1. 2 and 3. I think they are very much similar. And practice problem 4. So 4 problems you need to solve. You must solve. Okay. So now we shall end the session here. Okay. So let me download the attendance. Okay, so shall we wind up now?